Shall we begin?
So it begins. And now it begins.
So it begins.
And so it begins.
Shall we begin?
Shall I begin?
Shall we begin? Shall we begin? Shall we begin?
Shall we begin, everybody? We are back. The Fandom Collective, both me and Flipster is here as well. He's here too. He exists. He's not dead. He's good. He's alive. He's back. We've got our awesome guest from Force of Light Entertainment, Michelle, down here. I was going to say Natalie as a joke, but don't worry.
Hey, some people call me Natalie. It's whatever.
I assume you just respond as if it's
I'm
the
like,
case anyway. But I'm like, okay, yeah.
Sometimes I'll be like, it's Michelle actually, or other times I just let it roll. It just depends on my mood at that day.
That makes sense. So, but none of you go by Force or Light. I'm Force. She's Light. None of that.
We should try. You just gave us like the next way we're gonna like open up our video.
I think so. In a way, that could be a little duo costume thing too, or something. Just try to make a concept on the Force or something. What you think that could be, and then of the light, and I don't know. When you have a duo show, you can do stuff like that, I suppose.
It's true. It's true. You know, Natalie's already taken she's Natalie the Red. She came up with that after we watched Lord of the Rings and, of course, Gandalf the White.
Okay.
so that is hers.
That's fun. Some wizardry play there. That's good. Well, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to be on. I know I kind of said this behind, but I'll say behind the curtain. What do we want to call it? Backstage.
Backstage.
And I said this, and I want to say it again publicly, that I really appreciate what you guys do and how much time you guys clearly have to devote to staying on top of all the many different YouTubers that you guys help out. And it probably at times seems like a thankless job, but I genuinely appreciate it every single time you guys retweet our stuff. It means a lot. It really does.
That genuinely feels really amazing to hear. So thank you for that. And the ladies would feel the same, which is Fallon and Penny. So thank you.
Yep.
Yes.
Speaking of.
Well,
go ahead.
What I was going to say is with YouTube, I mean, one of the biggest challenge and hurdles we all have to get over is just people finding us. So to have something, what you guys offer and just kind of free promotion is very beneficial. And again, very appreciated.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, we help also because I know that it's a flooded feed every day pretty much with everybody's videos. But that, if you're just browsing Twitter and just looking for something that you see somebody that we post and you go, I haven't seen them before. That looks like an interesting video. I'll check them out and see what they are. And then maybe you'll find a new YouTuber that you want to see and talk to or something. So it's hopefully that's happened.
I'm sure it has. And even beyond finding new YouTubers, I notice people that I'm even friends with that I'm subscribed to, but don't, again, as we were kind of talking behind
notifications.
That sometimes you don't get notifications for it. It's like, oh, they have a video out and I see it from you all. And then I go watch it. So even it helps even for people who are subscribed to those channels just to see that, oh, they have a video out.
Yeah,
that's good.
That's the idea. It helps, right? It helps.
Definitely.
Keep the community together as well. And that's important. To me, it is. Because in the way that this whole new political arena has presented itself, maybe that's the best way to put it, people like us, people who see entertainment the way we do, it's nice that we can have a place, where we can find other like-minded people.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, and Flip, I think we have something we want to show. It's been a while since we've shown ourselves, so I think you should show them the thing that you did today.
Okay, so it is free. What we do is free, sure. We do one video a day for everybody. And we also have the Patreon. So for people who are Patreon members, and coming soon, you can buy directly off the website. I'm trying to find my camera. You can get these. We got these today.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And we also have the original logo sticker and then the new Fire logo. So real proud of those right there. and it's all in like really good detail because even though I created this, the guy had to like do a lot of typesetting to fix that shit. I'm not an expert. So you can imagine what the original looked like, but there you go.
There you go. Yeah, the FC Fire logo. Yeah, and he said we'll have that on the website soon, on the website that we'll be having soon as well.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Let's say hello to everybody here. Christian Fandom Geek was here a little while ago before us, all saying howdy. Howdy, sir. There we go. Don't know if you speak in a southern accent with howdy, but let's we can pretend there. What's up, Runner? Midnight's Edge After Dark. Tom calls him a little rookie or something, like I'm the slight level above it in terms of movies I've seen, just a little bit above him, but he's right around there with that. If you don't know, I'm the rookie critic, and I am called that in a way because I have not seen a lot of films. I want to be a film director, but it's a lot of classics I have not seen. You know, I don't know if you heard when we were talking backstage, but I haven't seen any of the James Bond films at all.
Oh my god!
Any 25 of them. Apparently, there's 25 of them.
There's a lot of them, and you need to fix that, man.
Yeah, I think I'll start. I was like, which one should I start with? Like, I'll start with the first one, and then some were saying I'll start with like Casino Royale or something. Like, you know, maybe one of those. I've seen Austin Powers, and I've seen all the parodies pretty much of it, and Austin Powers was fun. So,
Austin Powers is a classic.
Oh yes, freaking love that. Yeah, and the names, it was funny. So like when I see the parodies of like the Ivana Humpalat things, and then I heard the one named Pussy Galore was one of the names. I was like, so is every single Bond lady? Do they have that name? So like some kind of name like that, where it's a play on words. I think in that way.
Off of one of the movies where you had Pussy Galore. I think he's riffing off that one.
Well, yeah. But because of that, I assumed that every single Bond film, every Bond girl had a name like that. So I was like, oh, where's the wheel of names that everybody pulls from? But apparently, that's they've
not done really fun names like that in a while. But
they should. That's a fun shtick. You know, honestly, it's no different than when sci-fi makes movies and they have like the Sharktopus or something, or the alligator, something. They do lots of weird mixtures of animals. Just do that with names for the female characters. That'd be funny. And we got the Hex.
Did you, Michelle?
What did you say?
I said you didn't know you were going to have this conversation, did you?
Hey, I'm a Bond fan. I'm here for it. It's fine.
Yeah, we got. What was that?
Fan, but like I don't know if I want to support this next movie. I don't know if I want to pay the money to watch it.
Do you know, I have mixed feelings, and I'm not gonna, no spoilers here, but clearly sometimes I really hate when the media gets like advanced, like to see it, like the certain, like the YouTubers that get to do the reviews, because even their non-spoiler reviews, they say things and it's like, well, thanks for ruining the ending. Like in your non-spoiler review,
right?
Because of the way you worded it. Like I clearly know what happens now, and that's kind of made me like, I don't know if I want to see this or not. I mean, I probably will just to finish it, but it's like I'm not super excited about it as I typically am for a Bond movie.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't very good at like giving being descriptive with their words to not give something away. They're not sure about how much they give away. But yeah, I've been hearing that this is like the last, like it's all downhill from here type of attitude of like, this is if you liked any type of Bond, this is the last type you'll get of any type of quality, and the rest will go down. But I don't know. I haven't seen any to judge right now, so I have no idea.
What if it ends up? See, I'm hoping that. Have you seen it yet? Is it even out? I don't think it's out. Is it?
It comes out. It first showings in America will be tomorrow evening.
Oh, okay. Well, I imagine a lot of us will watch it because we want to do reviews and, of course, shred it for being woke if it is. However, if it's not woke, as everyone thinks it is, like if there's like I think before you came on, Rookie and I were talking, and he said in that Rise of Skywalker, two girls kiss for a second, blink and you miss it. And that was the whole woke scene, right? But, I mean, the movie still sucked. But if Bond is good, and has like something like that, I might watch it, like just a quick, blink and you miss it.
I know Nina, she said that it's not really woke, or not
Mhm.
like super woke. She had little things she picked with like on, but for the most part that wasn't her issue with the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the marketing was pretty failed. That was actually a topic I wanted to have specifically was marketing baits that they do lately, or that media does. But real quick, I want to finish saying hello to people in the chat real quick. So we got Stone Loki was in here for a little bit, just dropping a like. He can't stay, but keep it rolling. Thanks, man. Good seeing you around here. Yeah, he's been busy. He's been a busy holic lately. He streams like every morning at like 6 a.m.
Oh yeah.
Like, I guess for his time it's like 9 a.m. But still, I'm West Coast, so I'm just like, oh, that's too early. No, can't get up to watch anybody that early in the day. Let's see. He says, "What?" I assume to the accent comment. he's not no southern one right there. All right, we got Lord Runner. Yeah, Casino Royale is awesome, but that's the one to start it all off. So. With the Daniel Craig, I assume.
Yeah, Daniel.
Yeah,
the first one with
Daniel
Daniel Craig.
Casino Royale was really good.
It sure was.
Yeah, I've been hearing that if I want to get into James Bond, at least from a couple people, that I should start with that one because it's not as jarring a difference, I guess. Like to stuff like that'll be a good breaker into, okay, this is the modern take now go back into the old take instead of the old first or something. But
and I will say this, since we're on the subject of Bond, I remember when Casino Royale was coming out, because believe it or not, I mean, I remember even I had to get past the fact that Bond was a blonde now. Like I wasn't super pumped with Daniel Craig's casting when that happened, because he'd always had dark hair. And it was like, we've got this blue-eyed, blonde-haired guy. And I was like, I don't know if that's Bond. And then you watch the movie, and I've grown to appreciate this take. But in the past, Bond is so suave and kind of finesse. And Daniel Craig has played him very rough, like he gets punched. I remember in Casino Royale, they ask him, "Do you want it shaken or stirred?" And he's like, "I don't give a damn." Like, it was just like, it was different than like the Bond I was used to. So they even mixed it up with Daniel Craig.
I got you. So he wasn't like, he wasn't as charming or like, and specifically the, hey, I'm going to have a fun time as well as get the job done or something. This one's like, I'm just doing the job. Just doing the job. They made
Daniel Craig's a little more gritty, is the word I would use, of a Bond than we have had in the past.
Probably edgy.
Yeah, edgy, gritty.
Like, I don't give a damn what is in my drink.
Yes, no, like, I don't care.
Which that'll be funny for me going through it for the first time. I've always just that's one of the references everybody always does is shaken, not stirred. I'm just like I don't know. I guess I'm not an alcohol connoisseur, and I don't know how that why is that always specifically referenced with James Bond. I don't know.
If they referenced crack, Rookie would get it, but not alcohol.
Oh, you wish. Not that crazy. Not yet. But so basically with the new James Bond, what's this one called?
No Time to Die.
Okay, No Time to Die. Hearing the lists of the names people were suggesting earlier, they all sound so similar.
They do. All the James Bond names are pretty similar sounding. Besides Casino Royale, kind of its own unique sound.
Yeah. Is there any similar to Quantum of Solace?
Okay, that was a little different. They've done better. But that sounds very Bond. That sounds very Bond. Spectre sounds Bondy.
Yeah. If you were to just randomly say, "Hey, let's watch Quantum of Solace," I would go, "So it's like a space movie?" Like, what?
That is kind of what it sounds like.
Like you're gonna get like some solitary space quantum-y thing. I don't know. Quantum engine brings you out. I don't know. That's what I would think. But so with this new Bond one, when they were marketing it a while back before COVID put it back quite a bit, right? It was pretty much marketed like it's going to be the new Bond is in, step over. It's the new chick, and the old Bond's misogynist, bad, blah blah blah. Yeah. That's how it was marketed for a while, right? Mm-hmm. Or at least how people were talking about it at the time was that it was going to be like that. And then I don't know, was there any recent ones that are like coming out where people were like critics or something were talking about how they don't use the word woke, but they'll say progressive or something, right? Was that in talk at all recently? I don't I have no idea if it
With
was.
the Bond, they've kind of chilled out. It's like I think after the when they did that final trailer, they tried to kind of get people excited again. Because I think it was, and that's what's crazy. And that's what I actually recently just said that for my Venom, not spoiler, but it was mostly
Right.
non-spoiler
Yeah.
review. But I talked about that because let's say with Venom, Andy Serkis was asked about Venom, and he claims that he's part of the LBG community.
Yeah.
And it's like you go and watch the movie, that's not there at all. Like you're taking a lot of liberty to claim that Eddie and Venom are gay together.
Yeah.
Like they aren't. But here's my point. They get asked these questions by progressive left-wing people in Hollywood,
Yeah.
and then the left-wing progressive Hollywood people answering them think this is like what people want. So let's give this to them. Yeah, James Bond's going to get pushed aside for these women. Yeah, go women. Like
Mhm.
or Eddie and Venom, they're gay. Like they do all this stuff just because it's like literally preaching to the choir, and for some reason they have not yet figured out it is not good marketing. Because okay, take the Venom and well,
And
okay,
Brock.
let's start with James Bond.
Yeah.
James Bond, the majority of people who would like James Bond are male. So why offend men? You take Venom, and you want families to go see this movie.
Wait, they do?
What you would think, because
Wow. I'd assume they'd be wanting to go with the more horror rated R-ish, right?
well, they rate it PG-13, I think, so they could get kids. I mean, younger people.
Oh,
in
wow.
there.
Because wasn't the last one rated R?
It was PG-13.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because they knew they could make more money with it. But my point being, what do they do with Venom? They want to throw in, let's appease this group of people. But then what ends up doing is it turns a certain segment off, and then when the small group of people they tried to appease come and watch it, they're mad because they're like, well, that wasn't even in the movie. You're just baiting us, and that's not even there. But that's their new marketing strategy in everything.
Yeah.
Black Widow, James Bond, Venom, like all these movies, they are Dune, the white savior thing. Like they're always feeding in to their little elite Hollywood bubble, and it turns people off, and they're not realizing that. It's bizarre.
Are they starting to realize it? Is that why at the last minute they're changing their marketing?
I would hope so. I mean, there's got to be a point where people that do math, regardless of their political
People
persuasion,
doing math.
Yeah.
that they,
A little hard to say these days.
as long as they don't believe 2 + 2 = 5. But if those people doing math, like actually are numbers people, you think they would realize, oh, like this isn't popular to do this. Like, why don't we not do that?
Yeah,
We're
that
not
makes sense.
making
Go ahead, Flip.
We're not making money. That's math she's talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, it's like this is the kind of thing that we've been noticing for a while now, where it's the marketing bait is what I pretty much call it. And I mean, I think there's ways to do this right in a way. Like Marvel, I suppose, has done that better, where like they'd show in the Infinity War trailer the Hulk running next to Black Panther and Captain America and them, but it's not the Hulk, it's Bruce Banner, and the Iron Man thing, or like in Thor, where they show him having his both eyes are just fine, but in the real thing, he loses an eye. It's a little different, small things that to hide it so you don't fully know what's going to happen. You don't know he's going to get stabbed in the eye and lose an eye in that film, which I think is a good marketing. But then with these ones, it seems like it's just more word of mouth than just the marketing alone either. Like based on the trailers, I don't know if there's enough to go on, but I mean, now it makes me thinking, like, you remember when James Mangold was saying stuff about Indiana Jones and all these things? A lot of people are really just thinking it's going to be the worst, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know if I believe that before I see it now, because like, I remember with Rise of Skywalker and even going further back to like Beauty and the Beast, they're like, oh, it's all going to be just gay everywhere. And it's like,
yes,
no, whatever was there was minimal and okay. If you didn't mention it, nobody would have cared anyway. It was just there. It would have been just what it was. And I don't know, they make it, oh, it's so big. And it's like, is that really what you think is big? All right.
Yeah.
Well, peck on the cheek.
Kind of like, okay, so what you're mentioning with Marvel, that's them just being smart in their trailers. The problem with the marketing is when they get out on the press junket and they get asked
Right.
questions by these people that think certain ways in
That's
the
a good
Hollywood
point.
bubble.
Yeah.
And then because I actually really liked the the Black Widow trailer. I was like, dang, you know, we should have gone this trilogy years ago. This movie
Yeah.
looked pretty good. It looks kind of like Winter Soldier. But it was during the press junket that they started run their mouth about stuff like, oh, it puts men in their place and stuff like that. And to me, they could have done more with David Harbour's character, but the movie doesn't quote unquote put men in their place either. It's just about
Yeah.
her.
Yeah. Like a pretty much a harmless film, essentially. It's just like,
I mean,
it's,
the villain's a man, but the villain's often a man. That just, you know, it doesn't mean anything.
well, it's like if you were to say the villain's not a man, well, by process of elimination, I think that would be a woman, unless my math's wrong.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know. There's 32 other sexes according to them, right?
There's a lot. You're assuming a lot over there with two. So
it's funny. I could almost imagine there being a film that's like just the planet of different genders with that. And just, you know, nobody knows how to call each other anything because everybody changes it all the time. Like,
That's why I'm
I
so
don't know.
excited about space, so that we can send all these people to their own fucking planet.
I mean, it goes back to one of the last videos we did, a couple weeks ago now, I guess, about like them possibly changing X-Men to
Yeah.
like X people.
No.
But it's like, but at this point, I don't know. I could believe them doing that. I could, but I also don't know if they really would, or if that's just to get people talking about it. Like, I feel like so much of this is said now that's like, okay, you make fun of them a bit, you make fun of the audience a bit, or you say this is going to happen with the film, and then people react, and then other people react to them reacting, and it's kind of, you know, if you ever saw South Park, where there's the end of the troll series of it, the little episodes there. One of the worst seasons, I'd say, but had a good ending about how trolling works, or about how, you know, getting things to spread pretty much, you know, say one thing about somebody that gets other people to react to that thing, and then blah, 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 comes back and forth. I feel like that's what they're doing all the time now, pretty much.
Yeah.
They'll just say, this is this, and then, you know, we'll go, oh, that's ridiculous. Oh, you're bad for saying this is ridiculous. Look at these people talking about how it's just like this constant cycle that ends up happening. And I don't know. So it's like, it's hard to believe what people say now. And because I could believe they would change it to just what would they call X-Men?
I
Would
think
they really
if
call it
did
X-People? Because that
would be so bad. I think they would take more the route of just calling them mutants or something.
I feel like somebody's going to be offended at some point, and then they won't do that. I don't know.
Well, and like I mean, just think about how absurd that is if they were to actually, you have to call them X-Men. Like, that's just, and we all know there's women in the X-Men. It's not a big deal. It's just, if they go that route though, then it tells me Kevin Feige doesn't have near the backbone that I thought he did.
Well, it's like, it's confidence in your own product, and the fact that, you know, man doesn't always mean male specifically. You know, mankind is usually humanity. You know, the trials of man don't specifically mean, but no girls allowed though, just men. It's,
Yes.
you know,
And it's just
different.
like, can you even imagine being offended by the word X-Men? It's like, people know, I mean, there's some of the X-Men, Mystique, Storm, Jean Grey. I mean, they're women. Like, we all know them. And it's just, no one who actually cares about comics is offended by X-Men.
it's not like they're background characters. They're prominent characters
Yeah.
in there, I would assume.
Yeah.
With it. Yeah, so I don't know. The X-Men thing, I mean, I would think that's possible, but that's actually another example. And the Phoenix, right, was where they had the commercial or the clip where she says, maybe it should be called X-Women.
Yeah.
It's like that was like, you know, what that line, and then what one of the creators on it were talking about got a lot of people angry. But then in the film, that's not presented as much as what they're talking about, it being a women empowerment thing. It's like, no, that was just kind of that one line in whatever context they're talking about, and then the creator talking about it. Like, it's all great. So it's
and that line was like so cringy.
yeah, these days most dialogue is cringy these days, and unfortunately, even in things that I think are kind of good, they just really like to fit in really cringe dialogue. Like like, even I was trying to think about reboots that are good, and the Planet of the Apes trilogy that came out recently-ish and finished, I thought that was decent. I mean, I think there's some things that are like, that's kind of weird, like when they're fighting on the bridge and everything, and that one was kind of odd. But like, when he's like, "Get your hands off me, you damn dirty ape," when they Malfoy say that to him, I was like, "Ah, God," and my body's cringing into the thing. I'm like, I know you're homaging the original material, but you don't need to say the line. No, it would have been better without that. That's cringe, and that's in something decent, I would say. That's cringe. But I miss that kind of cringe because that was just, bad cringe.
Yeah, bad. There's a thing of just kind of, there's cheesy cringe, like it's cheesy, and you cringe. You're like, man, that was cheesy. It either makes you smile, laugh, or cringe. But then there's maybe it should be X-Women. There's that type of cringe that's just like, good gosh, like it's just not. They're not being subtle at all.
Yeah, that movie Airplane from the late 70s. The whole thing is cheesy and cringe, but it's fun just to consume it.
Mm-hmm.
Guy throws a cigarette out the window. Huge explosion. It's stupid, but it's funny.
Have you ever seen Father Goose?
No.
Okay, see, for usually I'm the one who hasn't seen anything, but it's like a '60s film, and this guy is on. It's like during World War II, and he does not want to be involved with anything. He's just a regular citizen, just wants to drink and be alone, pretty much. And he has his little boat, and he ends up getting kind of tricked onto being an island spotter, like where he's supposed to detect the Japanese plane or boat activity passing by or something, and he ends up having these girls on the island. It's just funny how it happens. But he's with the teacher that he's talking to, she's very proper and everything, so like the old-fashioned type of filthy, and one's clean pretty much. And at one point she insults him, and he just slaps her, or no, she slaps him feeling insulted, and he just slaps her right back, like no response. Like, and then she slaps him again, he slaps her again, and it was just like, that's good. I like that. Or even one of the kids, they're like in a boat, and one of the kids bites his finger, and he's like, and he gets water, splashes her in the face. It's just like, it's just funny just how they're reacting just naturally. I don't know. It's just funny just to see them, just to see a guy do that. And it's like, wow, nowadays, if they're to show that right now, they would want to attempt to bury that film or something, to remake it to be worse.
Well, you're literally describing slapstick comedy.
I guess so, yeah.
That's what Rook and I do good. Hey, have either of you heard of the movie Squid Game? The show?
Yeah, Angus was talking about that quite a bit.
My daughter, she's 16. I'm teaching her to drive. It scares me to death. But we get back from driving the other day, and she puts this on. It's actually pretty good. Have you guys heard of it? I mean, you said Angus mentioned it. What about you, Michelle?
It sounds familiar. What is it? Netflix?
Yep, it's Netflix.
Okay, I think I've just seen it, but I haven't clicked on it and don't know anything about it.
Yeah, should watch it. It's cringy because it's all mouth like a kung fu movie. Lip sync is terrible.
I shall defeat you.
Yeah, it's South Korean. I've only seen the first episode, but I intend to watch more. But in the middle of the episode, this guy approaches this other fellow. I'm not going to get into the context, but they start playing a game, and if he wins the game, he will win 100,000 won. That's their money. But he keeps losing, and instead of having to pay the guy the same amount of money, he said you can take a slap. He must have got slapped 1,000 times.
Like literally getting slapped in the face.
Yeah, it was funny, But that made me think
good.
slapstick. Yeah.
That's good. That's slapstick done right, unlike Melissa McCarthy, I would say. Pretty much.
And back to what you're saying about they couldn't do that. We say that all the time on our channel, because even pretty much 2016, and everyone knows what happened in 2016 in America.
The dark times.
But that is when Hollywood shifted. And it's like, now you go back to 2016, things that were even done in 2016, no longer allowed. Like it's like
Yeah.
they changed in 2016 and they got so serious and so we're going to force this down your throat even harder and more in your face and not even subtly anymore. And it's just like they lost all sense of like humor and because they want to
Yeah.
control speech. I mean, is what it really goes down to. But really, you can just go back to 2016 and anything before that came before 2016, like it pretty much couldn't be done today. Like a lot
Yeah.
of it.
Finding Nemo, man, too intense, man.
Out.
Too much.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Definitely not. How dare they show a dad take care of the child?
How dare they show a female fish not have her memory all the way?
Yeah, be a little
pretty bad.
flippant.
Yeah,
No,
little
they-
sexist.
They're painting sharks to be really mean, and I don't
They
think
were.
that's nice.
Now all the children got eaten from their babies, but no one cares about that.
No discriminating against sharks.
Mhm. You should let him eat you. It's fun. Okay.
Fish
I mean,
all
do you guys even think okay, say the MCU was starting in 2021. Like this is the very first movie. Do you guys even think Iron Man would be presented the way he was in 2008?
No, I imagine he'd be a full drunk. I assume they'd want to present him as Robert Downey Jr. was prior to being Iron Man or something. Is that being but being that entirely and not improving? I would imagine.
And not being not being able to get any women. Not because he's a playboy. I mean, he is when you meet him in the 2008 movie. I just don't even see. That's an example. I've thought of that recently. I don't even feel like you get that movie today.
Well, that's a what if, Michelle. That's
It is a what if.
yeah. Yeah, I can see that episode.
Mhm.
The one with I don't know if Rookie, I don't know if you saw all of them yet, but there's the one with Thor. Have you seen that, Michelle? The one with Thor where he's a frat
Do you
boy.
know, I didn't even get through the first one, and I haven't been interested to watch them.
Yeah.
There's so very little for me to watch at all that
Yeah.
I looked at them to see if they were any good. I haven't. It's funny. I really like them about halfway through, and then they drop The Thing. I don't know what to call it. It's just The Thing. Suck. But there's nothing to watch. So I checked it out. You haven't seen the one with Thor though. He's a big frat boy. So I feel like what you're saying is, if they were to do that movie today, I think it would be a what if. Yeah.
You know, when they made Peter Quill a janitor in episode 2, like that he doesn't get picked up and he just becomes a janitor at Dairy Queen.
Well, even with Thor, I mean, in my personal opinion, I'm not the largest MCU fan. I make that known on my channel quite often, but
Yeah.
I see them, I watch them. I felt like it was really kind of they just went for comedy. I thought it was terrible, the fat Thor thing in Endgame.
Yeah, me too.
Like
Yeah.
he became the butt of the jokes of the movie, and it kind of really downgraded the progress you saw in Ragnarok that he came to, and they just undermine all that in Endgame and make him a joke.
Yeah. They like to take one failure and then make that a whole reason why you completely fall apart. And I don't know. I feel like at that point, I think, he might. I wouldn't put it past him putting on a little weight, but I feel like he'd still be focused on other things, maybe not on increasing his strength because he got so strong already. He's just like, okay, well, now I just need to, how do I actually rule? It's like, it's not, he doesn't have to worry about ruling a whole planet now. He's got to rule just a people on Earth. Midgard, his other home. So it's like, what do we do here now, really? And it's like, okay, half the universe is gone. I don't know. There's a lot of deep things you can go with there, but they, in a way, it's like the Luke Skywalker method of things that they do now, where, if something bad happened, I got to run away real quick. I am just all the way apart. I failed. I'm done. It's like, I just don't, I don't see how you get just to abandon everything and lose all hope after a mistake or two. Like, I can see it growing maybe, but even then that you're still trying to, maybe a while break and then trying to improve yourself later. I mean, I assume they reference like Yoda all the time, where it's like, oh, he ran away and so did Obi-Wan. Well, yeah, but that's after they tried a lot to win. And we're like, okay, we got to figure out something else because this is not working. So, yeah, a little different.
And that was very different. Like Luke so Obi-Wan and Yoda they literally were forced into hiding because they're being hunted down. So it's actually
Yeah.
smart to go into hiding to like kind of figure out what to do. Like,
Yeah. If they're on a planet, they'll likely be spotted or something. Yeah, it will be hard to get around.
yes. Where with Luke, he's not being hunted down by anyone. He just fails and goes into hiding.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, imagine that's funny. We're talking about math. You said 2 + 2 = 4. It just made me think, how math class is essentially it's always seen as useless. But whenever you ask a teacher, why do we do this? It's never for anything specific. It's just you're kind of supposed to. But or they'll say it's like problem solving, and I think I can kind of see that now, where it's like, okay, or when you're doing a math problem, you're shown how to do it. Are you giving up on solving it, or are you going to try different ways that you know of to try to solve it, or are you just going to give up?
Well, I often gave up unless I had a tutor to help me.
Yeah, so that's a small example though of okay, are you really trying to solve this, or are you giving up too soon?
Yeah.
What is it? And I feel like with characters, they just have them give up real soon. Like I feel like, you stub your toe. I failed. No, I couldn't even do it right. I'm done. Closed. Done. It's like it really.
Well, and it's like, why does everyone love Rocky? Because he gets hit and he keeps getting back up. Like he never gives up.
Well, even if he still lost, he tried his best till the end. I mean, that's what makes a lot of characters endearing. It's like, even if have you ever seen Angel, the show?
I haven't, but I know what you're talking about.
Well, because at the end, they're pretty much doing a last stand type of thing where they could have done a lot of things where they could have walked away. They could have just rolled with the flow for a while, done whatever, but they were like, okay, well, we're here now, and this probably won't damage them too much. They'll still be on after we're gone, but while we can do something, we're going to. We're gonna, finally just do what we can because we're here. And the final lines, like, I don't know about you, but I just kind of want to slay the dragon. There's like a whole demon army about to attack them. They're gonna die. Like, there's basically that they're gonna be killed, and they're just like, well, we're just gonna walk right into it because we're here for it. That's what we're doing, and there's also because along the way they were getting kind of lost with it by only doing jobs for money or something, and then we got to do it for the right things here, and got back to their thing. And it's like that's what I feel like it makes it important, is that they're here and they can do it. It's kind of with great power comes great responsibility kind of thing. If you have the power to do something good, you should do something with it instead of just selflessly using it. So
yes,
kind of that aspect. And that does not get seen very much these days. It's always, I failed. Oh no. Oh, you can do it though, new person. And it's always, is that really what it is? Is that what they think like the wise role is that they're just a bunch of failure and it's all up to the new person now? Like, I don't know, because they're not supposed to be like that, not necessarily.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. Some of it is just really, I think, a lack of creativity in Hollywood. Like the writing is it's just bad. It's like, I mean, are there no good writers anymore?
That's a good point. I do wonder that question quite often. Writing doesn't seem to come to their mind at all. It's just, what's a brand we can latch onto, or what's a fad we can do real quick. Who's popular right now real quick. And it's just like, God, guys. But you see, I guess there are still some that slip through, like Pig. Have you seen Pig?
No, but I've heard of Pig.
Nicolas Cage, and it's
okay.
It's his most non-cagey movie, but he still has the face of him. Like, he's not intense, but his look is intense. Like he acts really well here, really different, and it's very small budget, very chill. It's not a John Wick style movie, and it is solid. It is really good. And then even Willy's Wonderland was goofy with its premise. The little creatures, the robotics coming to life basically in possession, a lot of weird stuff. But he doesn't say one line of dialogue in that film, Nicolas Cage. It's like, it's still done really well, and it's fun to see it play out and everything. And it's like, that was good. That takes some writing to have your protagonist not say a line, And I kind of want to see that kind of challenge more often on writers. Like, can you make a protagonist that doesn't speak? Can you limit them in some way and make them go through something, to make it a challenge? I mean, they always want to prop up their protagonists, but it's interesting to beat them down. That's usually when we like them.
Well, You know, that's what I think made, I don't know you guys' feelings on it because some people hate it, whatever. I really personally enjoyed 2019 Joker.
Yeah.
And to me, that's one of the things that they did so well is his character literally gets beat down like the first half of the movie to where you almost feel bad for him at that point. And he does speak throughout the movie, but I mean, the movie doesn't mind to just like sit still with him. And whether it's him looking in the mirror with tears running down his eyes, like it truly he speaks a lot, but there's also a lot of just physical acting throughout that movie. But I mean, it was I really enjoyed it. I mean, it worked for me.
It was a good one. I liked it too. Saw it in the theater with my son. It was the first movie in a while too. I agree with that.
And there was thought put behind it. Like there's a morality tale that's being told and kind of this cautionary tale that's being told. And there was definitely a lot of thought that Todd Phillips put into that script and into that movie that you just don't. And that's why it made $1 billion and he won, what was it, an Oscar? Gold, whatever.
Yeah, something.
Yeah. Because like it was a good movie. Like you can tell how much thought was into that movie.
It also felt like you were looking a little bit into the mind of Joaquin Phoenix. He'd been missing for quite some time and was going through some trouble mentally, you know, drug, alcohol, mental issues, you know, lost his brother River many years before. So, yeah. So when he brought that to the character, it was impressive, very impactful.
Yes.
Couldn't agree.
Yeah, well, and they do a good job at making you sympathize for him, but also know that what he's doing isn't right either. You know, when he does his things, you're not going, "Oh, he's a good guy. We're cheering for him, yay!" Like a lot of them will say that people did that enjoyed the film. It's like, no, we're not on his side, but we can understand how he got there. It sucks, but you know, that's how characters happen. That's how villains are made half the time. It's usually not, you know, I will choose to be evil today. Yes. No, it's usually, you know, I'm going to do whatever I can. Oh, something bad's happening to me. Something bad. People I love. Okay. Something different's happening now. That's what
definitely. Yeah. I mean, it was just that classic like descent into madness and you watch it. It's heartbreaking and yet riveting to watch all the way through the movie.
Yeah, I mean, those are the kind of films.
And then kind of electrifying at the end because you're like, dang, it's the Joker.
Well, it makes you question what's going to happen if there's going to be a continuation, and I don't want to see a continuation. I like thinking. I like thinking about what could happen. I don't want to see it happen. I'm good with it being okay. Good one. Close it. Don't franchise it. Just lock it away.
It's kind of like it was so special. When something's so special, it's just kind of hard to keep going with it. I mean, I know it happens. Look at Star Wars, but
happens all the time now. Unfortunately,
like that was like genuinely to me a special movie. Like there aren't many movies made like that today. It stands out, and it's just it'd be like continuing on with Forrest Gump 2. Like some movies, no, just let it be Forrest Gump, let it be Joker.
Thank you. Can movies just be a solo movie? Do they need to have a franchise? Do they need to have a sequel, a prequel, a spinoff? No, you can just have them. Just be as they are. You know, I thought the new Jumanji ones didn't need to be called Jumanji, and they would have been fine without the brand connection because they're so different anyway. Like it would have been fine if it was just called Video Game Movie. Didn't need to be connected as if they're part of a trilogy or something. And like Overboard got remade, and it's like that was Goldie Hawn and
that
Kurt Russell.
Happen. I watched it.
It was like the old one was fine. That's like an example of a timeless kind of one where it's like you can understand it enough from what it was, and no reason to make another. If they make a sequel at some point, I'd be like, what? Why?
Can't you guys wait for the remake of like Pretty Woman, but now the woman is like the rich like CEO or something who hires out the male gigolo.
Yeah,
isn't that real? Oh, please send me.
I'm joking. But my point is, it's just like Overboard. There's some just don't touch them, and all they did was role swap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whoa, crazy guys! We're doing something new and wacky. Woo! No, you see, it's funny because as I'm thinking about it, there was a lot of sequels made before the modern fad of things. Like there's a lot of sequels that were unnecessary. I mean, like a lot of the Jaws sequels, for example, were probably not needed to be made. Terminator, even like Terminator 3 and 4. Like I appreciated those attempts at the time to make them. They didn't, seem they're trying to really continue the story, but still, folly there. And like I don't know, there's just so many that try to make sequels now to things that just you don't need to. And it's like I'm okay with things being rebooted. It depends on how well they do it. Like I said, the Planet of the Apes was I think a good kind of example. And some people look at the current Godzilla Kaijuverse as a good one. I don't know. I never saw a bunch of the old ones, Japanese or American old ones, the Brendan Fraser, and then the newest ones. So I have no idea.
And speaking of movies getting sequels, like one of the movies, okay, as far as movies I've seen at a theater this year,
yeah,
my second favorite movie that I've seen at theater this year has thus far been Free Guy, because it just kind of surprised me. It was original, it was fun and heartfelt. But anyways, it's a movie that does not need a sequel, and I'm pretty sure it's already been greenlit for a sequel.
That's the other thing too. They keep on announcing the sequels like a month or two after the release.
Yeah,
it's like, can you guys stop? Like, did you really determine that early? Like, don't you have to like make a profit first?
It's
at least.
Or Cruella, it was barely out, and they're like, a sequel. Does that need another movie?
It didn't need to exist at all, really. That's a weird example of a film. It's just like, hey, 101 Dalmatians with all the puppies and stuff, and the crazy chick that wanted to kill them. Yeah, let's see what happened with her before.
Let's reimagine that.
We don't need to see that at all.
Disney used to be known for creating their own characters and amazing, cartoons and TV shows and movies. Now everything is a sequel or a reboot. Everything.
Or they'd adapt a story and make it, it stand out on its own for whatever they make of it. It was pretty good.
Yeah,
was 101 Dalmatians based on a book or something, or a story? Really?
I'm pretty sure it is I'm pretty sure there is a 101 Dalmatians story.
Like from 1800s or something.
Yes, from a long time ago.
Yeah.
I wonder. See, now I'm curious on a lot of those old materials for some of their films, like because I know that they adapted. I assume Snow White again, origin from a book or a play or something from before, right? Or
they did
all those. Yeah, and it's like, was Black Cauldron based on something? Like, where are they going with that one?
Well, Tarzan was definitely a book.
And many movies before as well.
Yeah, they had to be pretty creative. They basically take fairy tales and kind of make their own with them. Even Frozen, like that was loosely based off a classic work, but they really made it its own thing.
Right. Which I think that's fine to do in a way that's better than like doing their live action adaptations, like, because that's somewhat of an original take. And that's why, like, I don't hate the idea of a reboot, because there are some done well, but then you look at, I want to see more ones that are inspired by stuff. Like, you look at the M. Night Shyamalan Unbreakable type of series that he did with, Split, and what was the last one called? Glass. I haven't seen Glass yet, but from what I could tell, those are original. Like, those are supposed to be based in like a comic booky style, but those are original ideas and characters that he made himself, which is weird as some of his films are. That's a nice original idea. Avatar, very similar premise to other things that existed, but was its first of its movie though, essentially. So that was an original thing. And I don't know how easy. I can understand how hard it would be for them to make original stuff, but I feel like might as well try. Like, if you keep on doing they keep on wanting everybody to know of a product before they sell it now, which is that is just weird, because that's used to get things known by putting it out there and then seeing what happens. And,
well, it's easy to, like, okay, so the music industry, they have, well, the way it used to be when I was a teenager, they would have scouts go out to clubs and they would find young musicians that are playing at clubs. People, they can see that their work is doing well, right? They would scout them. They would eventually, unfortunately, use them. But everyone would make a lot of money and all of their work was original. If a lot of these production companies went to film schools, I mean, God, from what I understand, Juilliard's a pretty expensive school. They find top-notch people who probably want to create their original artwork, whether it be a script or a movie or a TV show. It's all right there for the taking. Instead, they just keep dipping back in what they know will make them money. Eventually, they're going to do it so much that they're not going to make shit.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I don't understand the lack of creativity. And even just go find some good books to adapt. I mean, that's what so many great stories are. Jaws, Jurassic Park. I mean, so many.
Even
loosely taken.
Even Jumanji, even surprisingly, from a book.
Okay.
I didn't know that. I was like, how is that? I thought that was a new idea. Nope.
It's like they're not even taking the time to search through books to find something to adapt and make their own. Like they're just like, no, we'll just reboot something.
Reading takes too much math.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yep. Hold on real quick. Curtis says, I know you mean James Cameron's Avatar, but it immediately made me think of M. Night Shyamalan's Last Airbender based off the show called Avatar with no relation to James Cameron films.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah, that was a bad adaptation. Again, trying to do like a whole season of a show into one movie. Not that great. What do you think of that, I guess, since that type of adaptation was brought up there? What do you think of people always wanting to make live action versions of cartoons or animations? I mean, or do you think they should ever do the reverse these days? Just like, or just not at all? Like, what do you think? What do you think's the appeal there?
That was actually we just did it. We just put out a video like an hour or so before I came on here, and we were discussing that because there's a rumor about Disney taking like one of George Lucas's scripts from the original trilogy and making it an animation and like reimagining it. And it's like, please, good Lord, no, just don't, don't do it. Don't mess with it. I feel like I understand making things live action that were cartoon. I do not understand making things cartoon that were live action. At least for me, because I feel like there's more people overall, especially adults, that just want live action.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't know.
That makes sense. This is Chikorita, by the way.
Hey, Natalie would like that. She's a cat woman.
Mm-hmm. Chica for short.
So Michelle, that was your last video, right?
They just uploaded today.
Yes, I just uploaded that today.
Okay, I thought so.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, so I think like of course, The Lion King's probably one of the best examples of like that you don't need to adapt to live action ever.
That didn't need that. No.
Yeah,
it was still a cartoon.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that some live action things could be interesting to see as a cartoon. The reason why I think those are more acceptable in a way is because not as many people will see them, and because it can be a chance to do that in a different art style. Like, I don't know, because those are ones that can be, shown on TV or shown to people that aren't going to offend them either way they do it. In an animation, it's like, oh, that's just what that was, whatever. Okay, or it's really cool the way that they do it. So I don't know, but that kind of, in a way, that's because you're the force of light, Star Wars-ish, I suppose. We don't talk about Star Wars all the time anymore these days. I don't know how much you guys do.
We don't either.
With that, it's like I saw some of Visions because somebody wanted to talk about them. Okay, I'll check it out, I guess. And I mean, the first episode looked all right as far as animation was samurai-ish. Okay, but I wasn't really invested. I liked how it wasn't Jedi that they fought as a Sith fighting a Sith that wasn't power hungry. But ultimately, I don't care about any of it. I don't know how you felt with some of if you watched it at all, or
I didn't watch that. I just I never got into. For starters, that it's interesting you asked me this question because I got out of cartoons at a very young age, like where I just preferred live action, and not that. Okay, I back in the past took my niece to see Tangled or Frozen and think they're cute, but I mean that's that's kind of where it stops. So I never, even as a kid, was into anime. So I have not watched Visions because I've just never been into anime.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I think that some stories are told well in that type of format, but fewer more than any, if
Yeah.
anything. So like, because yeah, some of them, like especially in Visions, were very just. I don't even know what's the point. They're only 20 minutes long as well. There's not much time to really care anyway. It's just okay, it's there, and I heard they want to try to make things along that line going forward, and I'm just like, okay, but I don't know who's gonna watch that. I mean,
Well, and
maybe.
aren't they like all kind of different individual stories?
Yeah, they're not connected at all, and they're made by different studios or different teams on each one. So like, there's very different styles throughout each episode, pretty much.
And see, that doesn't really appeal to me because when I think of watching a show, like I want to get invested in characters.
Yeah.
So like if I'm restarting every single time, I think that's kind of even with What If, why I just kind of haven't watched it. It's like I don't care because it's not I'm not you're not allowing me to get truly invested in the characters.
Yeah, to me, it's the one. Okay, here. Okay, next one. Okay, wait. What was that? No, okay, next one. Remember, I like to focus on things.
I do too. So. I do too. Yeah.
And honestly, I prefer longer formats than shorter. So.
Well, like I said earlier, there's not much to watch anymore. So I consumed those stories quickly. And I liked 3 of them, but they were the more adult-sided ones where there were more Star Wars based, like the Jedi need this, or they need lightsabers, or there's this bad guy. Something like that was in each of those 3 stories that I liked. The rest of them they could have just thrown away. But for me, it's not necessarily that it's a cartoon or not, and it's not necessarily that it's live action or. And I do like to be invested in the characters as well. I agree with you there, Michelle. But 3 of those had a pretty good story, and that was key for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could hear me. My internet kind of.
I think you got cut out slightly, but I think we made out what you said.
Okay.
That's good. All right. Yeah. So I like how that was it. So yeah, with Star Wars, yeah, I'm just not as focused either. Man, there's gonna be Book of Boba Fett. There's gonna be there's 10 or more different things. And I'm just like, that's an example of something where I like. This is a question I always ask people. Do you want more franchises to continue on forever or have an ending? Because a lot of people just seem to want to always see something always going. And I feel like Star Wars would be one where it could potentially keep on going forward, but I wish they took their time with each thing and really tried to make stories out of it that can last. Then I'd be more okay if they pumped out some every couple of years, but they're just pumping out a cajillion in a year and then next year, and it's more and more, and it's like I don't know where the quality's going. I have no idea.
Yeah, that's a good point because with Star Wars, it is a huge galaxy. So you can explore and go to different time periods if you want and stuff. But there could come a point where people just kind of check out if you keep going because there should be an ending to a degree, I believe. I think you're right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to the point as like they could have a whole movie taking place on one planet in like one city, and it could still be good, but I don't think they'll ever do anything like that. Like, where they're in any situations like that. They always have to be grand scale ships, lasers, lightsabers, evil guy going, I will have power or something. It's just like, okay, kind of annoyed with all the bad guys wanting power and stuff. It's just like, is that all you want? Just want to rule things. I don't know.
Power and money, man. That's what
like I get it. It's a good base motivation for children. But like, can you have any other connection, any other desire than that? Like something, because otherwise I'm like, I don't know if I care. Like it's hard to invest in the villain. It's like, yeah, I just want to kill everything and rule everything. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Flip. I know you and I kind of go back and forth on the Star Wars continuation or not, but.
Right now I'd be fine if they just ended it for now. I want George Lucas back, to be honest. I just want him back. I know it's an impossible dream, but I don't know that I'll ever love it the way I used to. But like we were just all saying, it sounds like we all agree that stories are the most important part. If the story is right, then it kind of falls into place,
Story, and with Star Wars, if you want to keep it in the vein of how it all started, character. Like
Yeah.
there's got to be good character development because that's a key. That's why we love the original trilogy. We love Han, Luke, and Leia. Like
Yeah.
and even the droids and Chewie. I mean, they developed characters that you grew attached to and you loved. Like that's a very character development is very important with the story.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like. Or go ahead, Flip.
I just miss them. I agree. When you bring it up, it just all this flood of emotion just kind of surges through my brain. Like I really miss that. It's too bad we don't have it. You were saying though. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of forgot what I was going to say.
Well, that comment that you
That's
just
okay.
pulled up, like I have not watched anything Star Wars since that happened. Like that, it like broke my spirit in a way that I can't really explain. And I've like, I'm trying to get past it to at least go back and watch the original trilogy and separate that from Disney and everything, which I ultimately will and have. But it's like, it's just they've killed it for me. Like right now, I have no excitement for the Book of Boba Fett because they killed me on the inside with that move.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, when people ask, "Hey, do you like Star Wars?" My immediate response is no. Now it's like, I mean, yeah, I enjoyed the first 6, I guess, but I don't know if I want to say I like them right now. I want a big break, a big break from Star Wars. I haven't watched. I just watched the Visions just because my buddy wanted to see them, and that's not getting me into Star Wars at all. With that,
I didn't watch Bad Batch at all. Like I had no desire to watch that. Didn't care.
They added that season, that last few episodes of Clone Wars, which some people have said are good, but I'm just like, I don't know. Just don't need more. The Mandalorian, I just don't. I don't see the point. I mean, they just want to. I mean, and now they just want to show. Oh, you liked this thing? Here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one. It's just like. Yeah, I don't want more McDonald's with movies.
Yeah. I personally feel, I know people like TV format. I get that. I like TV format too. But if we get like a 4-episode, 30 minutes each episode Obi-Wan, it's going to be like, why didn't you guys just make this a movie?
Oh yeah. And I think that would have been smarter. And in a way, it's more challenging because you have to, instead of making all these like little mini series that they do. Yeah, I agree. If they were to condense their content into a 2-hour movie, 2.5 hour tops if they want to go or something, that would be a more skillful writing, and you'd be showing us the things that are important. You'd have to cut out all the crap and make sure it's something good, and there you go. But no, they don't want to do that. But I know that you said you have to go in a little bit over here. So I suppose if there's we're getting close to the end of the year here, and 2021, one of the best years ever.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any goals to reach by the end of the year with this year, pretty much?
For our channel?
Yeah, for the channel, or if you want to say outside the channel too, sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for the channel, let's see. We've been like hovering around in like, let's see, I think we're about 300 and, well, that's actually not a good enough goal. I would be really happy if by the end of the year we had 5,000 subs. That's a realistic goal. I'd be thrilled with that goal if we meet that goal. Which it could happen. I mean, it's like one video can shoot you up. It's just kind of.
I agree.
As we talked about before, it's just the grind and eventually rolling the dice and the algorithm lets you land. Yeah, roll a good dice.
Yes, that's good. Is there any type of videos that you want to make in the future? Because like you said, you're not as interested in Star Wars right now. Is there any ones that you guys are like wanting to make, but you haven't like fully committed to them yet, but you're thinking about it?
Oh, yes. Okay, two actually. We had been doing, and people really like them. We'll watch a movie privately and do a live stream, like first time watching. Like we watched we started this year off with Lord of the Rings. Neither one of us had ever seen that trilogy.
Wow.
Yes, and people really seem to like us discussing that. So what I want to do, I finally have figured out, I believe, how to get it done. It's just taken a while because I'm not good at editing and stuff. Mm-hmm. I want to begin to do some of the we'll still do the live discussion with the chat after, but I also want to put together the like reaction, like of us watching it. Some of these
Yeah.
classic movies, and I think we're going to start with the movie Tremors, the Kevin Bacon movie.
Yes.
Nice.
I am a huge Tremors fan. Oh my god.
Okay, good.
Don't ever watch sequels beyond the third one. Even the third one's kind of weird too, but
Okay.
fun weird.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've had a lot of fun with the first watch. And again, I was just thinking, because I've seen these reaction videos, and it's like people won't say we want to see it. So that's like a big thing that it's close. Like we're almost there to be able to actually do that.
People love seeing first reactions. That's a good idea. I did a few. It's funny you say that, because like I had the last few streams that we did here was me streaming after I watched a movie for the first time for some of these old ones: Citizen Kane, Buckaroo Banzai, Falling Down, all these other ones, and just did a stream afterward. Yeah,
People love it, man.
It's great for film, but I didn't enjoy it.
I hear a lot of people say that.
Yeah. It's like great achievements, but I don't ever want to watch it again. Kind of a thing. But yeah, people like to see reactions like that, so that's a good idea. Doing the discussions after. I'd also recommend, when you watch certain movies, maybe depending on what they are, especially older ones, if you bring on a guest that knows a lot about the film, then that can make it more interesting, because that's how like I was doing it, or it's my first time seeing a movie, somebody else that recommended it and loves it will come on and talk, and we'll be talking about it, and that way, as I'm discussing the experience and talking about the movie, they can fill in extra information about the production, or when it came out, what people thought, or something. It makes it more interesting for the new perspective and the experienced perspective. So
Do you know, that's funny you say that, because the last two we did that. We brought on
Really?
a person who was who had like obsessed with the movie, loved the movie. And so you had us who were fresh, and them who of course knew everything.
Yeah,
so,
and that makes
that's
it
a
good.
idea.
And it makes the chat love to flare in the interactions or make corrections here or there. So it's a great way to do it. I think that's a good idea. You guys should probably, if you're not ready for that by the end of the year, that should be like your 2022 starting movies or something.
Yes.
Have-
that's
or
how
have
we
some-
started 2021, was with the Lord of the Rings first watch. So
Yeah.
we're about to get there. We're trying to get that going. And then also I want to start, of course, since we are a movie, entertainment, pop culture channel, it will have to, it'll be within that vein. But like I want to start in Atlanta, because I've been to all of them. We're massive Stranger Things fans, and I want to take the camera and go to all the famous locations and make videos with it, and start doing that, like from famous movies or TV shows, like wherever
That'd be
I am.
cool.
If I'm in a city where that has famous scenes, start making little videos, taking people around the different. We've been saying we were going to do this since like the summer. And hopefully maybe in November we are able to begin to go around again to all the different locations for we'll start with Stranger Things and begin to make those type videos occasionally too.
I live here in Athens, Georgia. Which
Okay.
is 45 minutes out of Atlanta.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to a lot of the Walking Dead places where they filmed those.
Yes.
It's really
yeah.
cool. Very cool to go to those places. I'd love to watch your videos if you go do that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I want to start doing that again. So those two things are the two things that I've been planning in my mind for months now, and it's just getting them done and beginning to start that.
Those will be great to see. They sound like fun. I think that'll be a good change up from just doing Star Wars stuff or just the regular movie reviews or something, because I think the watching first time and reactions are good for that. If you need somebody on for a Tremors discussion.
Okay.
Oh my God. Even Tom Connors was surprised how much I know about Tremors. I was like, okay, man, that's, I don't know why. I didn't realize I loved it until the 5th, 6th, and 7th one came out, which were like Last Jedi type of no with the stuff. So
well, we'll definitely bring you on then when we do it.
All right. I appreciate that. I mean, this has been fun talking. We could always go on for longer, but you got somewhere to be, he said, right? And or unless you're good to go for a couple more minutes, but if you're good, if you have to go, then we'll close out right now if you're.
Yes, we can close out. And I just want to say thank you so much for having me. And again, truly, I mean that. And I know I've written it under you guys' posts at times. Like I genuinely really appreciate what you guys do.
Well, we appreciate you too. And we see your thank yous, and that's very, very amazing. We love to see that and keep on.
But one of the main things we love to see channels grow and and not just in size, like subscriber size, but we like to see their quality of content grow, their interactions with other people grow. We love seeing this person talks to this person now, because a lot of people are introverted pretty much, and then YouTube's a good way for people to get used to talking in front of people or talking to them while there's people watching pretty much, and I think it's a good experience for a lot of people, and I think it helps arguments as well, because a lot of people don't want to argue or something. It's like no, you talk about something. You want to defend a point. Cool, you can do that with other people as well. But so a link to your channel is in the description below. It's been awesome having one half of the Force of Light entertaining the girls, Michelle. And you guys look forward to their content coming in the future. By either the end of this year or starting next year. That stuff sounds fun and awesome. And Flipped Out, any last closing statements you want to do?
Not much. Join Patreon. Let us help support you, and watch Force of Light. Go subscribe to them. They're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers.
Yes, let's have them. Let's have them get that goal. 5K. Sound rolls off the tongue, guys. 5K.
It does. It's just a good number.
All right, and with that, we will see you guys